Welcome back to Fanny's Airy Life. This is a story about Fanny and her lighter-than-air body. It appears that Fanny's physical condition might just be good enough for her to participate in the Fly High selection trials. Today, Fanny's body is like a whiff of air, even the door wants to swing open. A gust blew, fire extinguisher flew faster. Fanny wanted to put out the fire, but Grandma stopped her. Grandma said, "Don't move. Let me chat with my old friend there, who's everywhere." Fanny finally started spilling her tales from the dreamland. After hearing Fanny's dream, Grandma revealed that both were inadvertently synced. It was a long time ago at a diner where she saw Death's plans. Everything is fate's painting. Just as her boyfriend was about to propose, Sayoma suddenly exclaimed, "Hey, we're all gonna die." Sayoma quickly snatched a coin from a little boy, as if by saving that poor coin she could save the fate of the diner. In the end, she dashed forward swiftly like an exceptionally skilled stunt performer and grabbed the microphone. Sayoma successfully retained those who were originally on the verge of leaving. But it wasn't Grandma's plans that closed that tower permanently, it was Death's residual anger, and it got torn down faster than my moving boxes. Death doesn't like anyone crashing his party, so for years, those survivors have been checking out one by one, including her husband. But over time, Grandma seemed to have learned how to play with time, always sensing when Death was coming. Unfortunately, Death pulled off a last-minute trap on Sayoma. She only had 2 months left, a real countdown. 1 day, 2 days, suddenly Grandma got distracted, bumped into the desk lamp, the light flickered, and the fate pot swung into action. Grandma gave Fanny years of collected data, as if saying, "Look, your adventure guide I made." Grandma had lived here for 20 years. It seemed this was her new jungle, known for the number of people who had their hearts set on it. But Fanny simply couldn't comprehend what Grandma was saying, thinking, "Is this my grandma? Or is she a ghost now?" Just as Fanny turned to vanish, Grandma excitedly came forward, pulling her last move. If Death had its sights on her bloodline, it's time to prepare for the arrival. "Stephanie," Grandma stopped at the door, as if she heard the horns call. She thought, "Once I step out of this door, the mission of Death will instantly descend upon me." But to save her family, and to make Fanny truly believe, she still insisted on handing the data to Fanny, as this book was her life-saving charm. "Of course you don't believe, but this is really the charm I've prepared for you." In any case, Grandma's passing did not fully convince Fanny, as she pondered to herself, "Oh, Grandma still retains a hint of mystery." Yet deep inside, alarm bells rang as the funeral gathered every family member, including Fanny's mother, who had been gone for 10 years. The moment Fanny saw her, she thought of running away, but felt a twinge of unease. Ultimately, she wanted to flip through Grandma's notes. Meanwhile, the family prepared a party for reunion, and accidents were brewing. Suddenly, a glass fell out of nowhere, shattering right into the ice bucket at the bar. The shattered glass mixed into the ice cubes, and the smell of copper seemed to infect everyone's drinks. And everyone raised their cups for a hearty drink, and just then, Cousin Judy coughed like a little bee in the wind. "Diabetes? Ain't saved. Oh my goodness, come save me." Fanny opened Grandma's notes, and the first page read the fear trigger, echoing everything at the family gathering. Then she realized that all the items from the gathering were nothing short of a chilling death show, truly sending shivers down one's spine. "Mom, the grilled fish is ready, come throw in the wine." But Fanny sensed something was off and rushed to the gathering. She hastily dialed her uncle, but got no answer. The lively gathering ignored the looming danger. Kids were having too much fun on the trampoline, unaware that the legs were beginning to crack. Fanny's mom, Darlene, noticed something was wrong, stopped the fun, and put the nail aside. Unknowingly, this was part of Death's scheme, as Aunt bumped into a bottle. The bottle's rolling hit the inflatable pump switch, and the pump seemed to be magically activated, starting to run wild. The expanding tracheids collided with each other, happening to bump into the newly placed nail tooth. Thankfully, Fanny arrived just in the nick of time. The gathering, which was supposed to be filled with joy, suddenly turned into a scene of someone at the back, and Fanny finally believed Grandma's words. After the disaster, she gathered family, narrating survivors' death found after Grandma halted it. Nearly 100 survivors, and it took Death many years to send them all off. In the end, only Grandma and a small boy remained. Fanny realized that Death would punish them in order of age in the family, starting with her uncle's eldest son. Fanny hurriedly analyzed Death's next target, which turned out to be her uncle's son, Eric. Family members held a complete skepticism towards Fanny's words. Even after she exhausted herself explaining, everyone continued to believe she was simply an extension of Grandma's bloodline, deeply lost within those crazy fantasies. But that evening, while Eric was working at the tattoo shop, something fell and hit him. Strong shakes made the death doll baffle, triggering a series of chain reactions. The sound of shattering glass caught Eric's attention. He instinctively stood up, but bumped into strong disinfectant. The chain hanging from the ceiling suddenly loosened and snagged on his nose ring. He now faced a serious challenge. As the fan spun, the chain kept wrapping around. Eric desperately searched for a way to free himself.